Today I'm going to talk about damage in the landscape due to our furry friends and give some tips on how to minimize the damage.
Here's one of the shrubs that I have in my landscape that, as you can see, got a branch here that's been torn off by my dog. He gets really bored in the wintertime if he's not getting enough exercise, and he'll come out and just start chewing at the base of some of the shrubs I have out here. And so when you have something like this, you don't really want to leave that, because you can see this area in through here. It's kind of dried out and may create some dieback. Not really a big problem, but it's ideal to go ahead and remove the damaged area from the shrub. You can see here some more. It does a pretty good number on this particular plant. Thankfully, it's resilient. But what I would recommend for something like this is to go in, and you can see there's a new growing point here, and just to remove the damaged wood right above that growing point.
If your dog or puppy is not only damaging but also eating plants in the landscape, be sure and do a sweep of the plants they can access and make sure that none of them are poisonous. And if they are, that you can put up a barrier to keep them out or remove the plant. Here is another type of dog damage you may find in the landscape. This is a hellebore, one of my favorite early bloomers here in Central Oregon, usually blooming in February. At first glance, you may think this type of damage is due to a fungal pathogen or a virus, but if you notice the pattern of damage on this plant, most of the damage is on one side. The side most easily accessible by Fido as he lifts his leg to pee. See, as I go up and over this plant, there is no damage on the back side. The damage is from the highly targeted, assuming your pup has good aim, concentration of nitrogen containing compounds and associated salts. How can you prevent this from happening? One of two ways. Either training your dog to go in one designated area or excluding your dog from your plants using a barrier. I have an example of this in my landscape. Here at the base of a clematis, I put 2 black nursery pots to keep Fido from peeing directly on the base of the vine. I recorded this earlier in the year, and at this time the vine has completely covered over these pots. You can't even see them. So they worked in protecting the base of the plant. You can also see a few volunteer hops that I've been trying to remove for the last 5 or 6 years without very much luck. Going back to the hellebore, you can simply remove the damaged leaves if it bothers you by snipping them off. If I catch him in the act, then I will go ahead and dilute the pee with a spray of water from the garden hose. Diluting down the high salts will minimize the damage to your plants. Notice I said him. Male dog urine causes damage also. There's a myth out there that just female dogs cause spots in the yard, but it has more to do with their peeing habit of squatting in one location and it being more noticeable in an area, and less to do with their gender. Speaking of myths, there are a few others that should be dismissed, such as the one that dog spots can be prevented by using food supplements to reduce the alkalinity of the urine. Remember, dog spots are not due to high alkaline urine. They are caused by a high concentration of salts and nitrogen, as mentioned earlier. None of the supplements on the market have been proven to reduce the severity or incidence of dog spots, and you would want to check with your local veterinarian before adding any of these products to your dog's diet. The best way to prevent dog spots in the lawn is by training your dog to go in a designated area. Sometimes the spots will completely die back and may need to be reseeded. You may also need to fill and reseed areas where digging occurs. I know with my dog, if we give him a ball, he'll go out and try and bury it. So we just don't give him balls in the backyard. This type of damage can be prevented by exclusion from an area and continued training. Well, best of luck to you with your Fido.